I'm very excited to see what people are writing about. It's very exciting and very important, really. Very important to encourage people to write, to present their vision of the world in dramatic form. That's where we begin. My name is Don Warrington, and I've been asked to be a judge for this year's Bruntwood Prize.
It's exactly the right time for people from different backgrounds with different ideas, with different tastes, to come along and say, have you thought about telling a story this way? Or this is the way that I see the world. My name's Lucy Preble, I'm a playwright. I've been asked to be one of the judges on the Bruntwood Prize this year.
We need to keep it new, keep it fresh. A theatre is great at addressing the issues that confront the country today, and for that you've got to have the oxygen that new writing pumps into it. My name's Kirsty Lang, I'm a journalist and a broadcaster, and I present the BBC's flagship arts programme Front Row on Radio 4, and this year I'm going to be chairing the Bruntwood Prize for Playwriting.
What excites me about new writing is that it's new, ultimately, and I don't mean that it's kind of novel. I mean, it's current, it's present, it's talking about now. My name is Matthew Zia, I'm the Associate Artistic Director of the Royal Exchange, and I'm one of the final judging panel for the Bruntwood Prize.
Theatre is all about the audience, and taking the audience that bit further as well. New writing should be about issues, should draw out issues, should send people home thinking. I'm Mike Oglesby, I'm the chairman of Bruntwood.
I think every play in its own way sort of needs a sense of humour. It's a bit like people. If you meet a person with no sense of humour whatsoever, it can be rather disconcerting. And similarly, I look for a sense of humour in a play. I'm excited about the prospect of kind of giving a playwright that kind of boost that I was given in Phil Porter, and I entered the first ever Bruntwood Prize. I wrote a play called The Cracks in My Skin, and this year I'm on the final judging panel.
So if you're a writer, or if you want to be a writer, you will have those ideas already in your head. The most crucial thing to do, the only thing to do, and the reason why things like this prize are brilliant, is to write it down. So you've got to write it, then you've got to cross the biggest hurdle of all, which is finishing it. And then you've got these portals, you've got these open doors, which is the Bruntwood, which is the Royal Exchange. Just show your play. I am Russell T. Davis. I'm a television scriptwriter and a keen member of the Royal Exchange, and I'm a judge on this year's Bruntwood Prize, which is a delight.
There's probably completely different stories out there to be told, and to be told in a completely different way by people who don't think of themselves as writers.
But this feels like a pathway for new writers of any age. That doesn't mean you have to be 21. It's like you can be 61 and 81 and still writing something for the first time.
Winning it can really change people's careers and lives.
You always think you could just be that little bit better, with a little bit more time, and a little bit more money, and a little bit more input. And that's what Bruntwood kind of offers.
If you think possibly you can finish a play and hand it into something like this, like an award that has this amount of prestige and finance attached to it, you have to give it a go.
The Bruntwood is the biggest prize for playwriting in this country. Submissions open on January the 24th and they close on the 5th of June. Anybody can enter. It's anonymous. The only condition is that your play must not have been produced on stage before.